Hi, hello, welcome to my little pocket of the internet. I'm so glad you could be here with me. Today is my first YouTube video. Yay! And so for that, today we are going to do a mini get to know me as well as a mini book tag so you can see what books are my favorites. So grab your cat, your favorite snack, and your favorite drink, and let's get right on into this video. So a little bit about me is my name is Ollie. I don't know if you put two and two together, but there you go. I currently live in Texas. I use they them pronouns or any pronouns really. Pick your poison, I'll probably respond to you. My favorite genres are romance and fantasy with a little bit of literary fiction just kind of sprinkled in there. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments and I may answer them in a future video. Okay, let's get on to the book tag. So I have a list of prompts like right in front of me, and the first prompt is, the book you tell people is your favorite. This will come as a surprise to literally nobody. If you've ever talked to me, this will surprise literally nobody. This is how you lose the time war. I don't know if I have the words for how much I love this book. How much I love this book and how much everyone knows I love this book is in Ellen's recent unboxing, like, book package video. Someone sent her this book and I was immediately mentioned, and I was like, yes, I've been fighting for my life for this book. I'm just gonna sit here and love this book for a second. It's by Amal El Moltaire and Max Gladstone. It is sapphic. It is sapphic. It is glorious. No notes. 10 out of 10. 5 out of 5 stars. 6 stars. I re-rated books because of this book. Take that into consideration. Okay. The next question is a book that is your guilty pleasure. Now, I need all of you to mind your business. Mind your business. Yes, I have the 10th anniversary editions. Mind your business. That's all I have to say. Next question is a book that everyone loved but you didn't. I actually don't own this book anymore, but it is, I'm gonna insert maybe a picture here. It is Butcher and Blackbird. That was not for me. The kind of smut it was really not for a person like me, and that's totally okay. I'm not here to yuck your yum or to yum your yuck. I'm not here for any of that. I am here to tell you I will not be breathing leather and lark. That's all I have to say. A book that deserves more hype. Now listen, this is also a book that will surprise literally nobody. I have been fighting for this book as well for the past like 4 weeks. Fighting for this book. You see this little frog? That's not the frog. You see this little frog? His name is Kingsley. This is not a spoiler. His name is Kingsley. I love him. Me and Kingsley go together real bad. A book you've reread. Cut. Pause. Alrighty. A book you've reread the most. Now, again, mind your business, but also I feel like this book is really underrated, but I also am self-aware enough to see why people don't like it, but I am also highly aware of that I don't want to hear about it. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I couldn't even give this book a rating because of what it means to me. It was one of the first books I ever read, for one, and then for two, it was My first book to movie adaptation. Still prefer the book over the movie, but that's beside the point. It was my first book for a lot of different things, and the story itself, like, I relate to Hazel a lot, even though it's kind of weird to say that if you know what goes on in this book. I just love this book so much. John Green. I know this is probably your most popular and well-known book, but John Green, you deserve the accolades for this one. Next is a book from an atypical genre for you to read. Now, I need you to mind your business as well, because I know this is required reading in most high schools. I love this book. I love Animal Farm. It's such an interesting concept because it's based on Joseph Stalin and that era of history. So, and it's dystopian, but it's animals. The pigs take over. Of all animals, the pigs take up. Anyways, obviously everyone knows this book. Everyone knows what it's about. I'm not going to speak too long on it because that just feels like I'm beating a dead horse. However, maybe give it a try when it's not required reading for high school, because I did after high school. I mean, I liked it in high school, but I didn't really want to read it because it was required reading. But reading it after high school was just the best decision I could have made because I really like it. Alright, next is a book you thought you'd hate, but you ended up loving. Now listen. We do not condone toxicity in this household. Ever. Okay? I stand with you. However, as it turned out, I love these books. I'm pretty sure everyone has heard about Magnolia Parks. The US covers with the shoes make me viscerally upset. So I went out of my way to get the pretty covers, but that's beside the point. To those who don't like it, I stand with you. You're valid. I actually fully and wholeheartedly understand why you don't like these books. However, these stole a piece of my heart. Specifically, Daisy Hates. And I will never not love these books. But yeah, actually, it's a really funny story. When I first read this book, I first got it on my Kindle, and it was in like January, March, somewhere in the first beginning of the year, and I DNF'd it at 7% because I stood with you. I stood with you. I was with you who don't like it. And then I tried it again in May, and the world was never the same because I love these books. I love these books. You should read them if you have read them, but I also understand if you do read them and don't like them. I'm with you. It's okay. I understand. Alright, a book that made me ugly cry. Now listen. Did I expect a romance novel to make me ugly cry? Absolutely not. But this? Abby Jimenez. It's also just like, Justin, the perfect man. The perfect man. I am one who is the advocate of getting rid of every single third act conflict because most of the time they're not necessary. The third act conflict in this was something that was going to have to happen for the relationship to work, and now the relationship can work and they're just happy little people. And I just love this book, and it made me ugly cry. A book that everyone needs to read. Okay, I don't anymore own the physical copy because I want to get the hardbacks for display, but maybe if I can figure it out, I'm going to put a picture here. The Legend-Born Cycle by Tracy Deonn. If you love King Arthur, if you love strong female characters, if you love YA fantasy, you should read this book. Those books also took a piece of my heart and just held it with them. And it's still with them. I'm waiting for March when Oathbound comes out. I need it like yesterday. I will be ordering the hardbacks, and I will be doing a reread, and I will be getting the hardback of Oathbound. I have no words. It's one of the most perfect YA fantasies I have ever read. And it doesn't even feel YA. Like, it's YA in the sense of there's no spice or whatever, but the emotion, the context, and what they go through, it doesn't read YA. It reads like these are people, like, well, obviously it's YA because they're also like 16, 17-year-olds. But it's just, it doesn't read like most YA where it's like really cringy or really whatever. At least for me, it didn't read that way. And Tracy Dion, you won't see this, but if you do, I love you. All right, last question. A book you'll never forget. Now, I own 2 copies of this book because I found out there was a separate epilogue. I like the UK epilogue a lot better. I still love the book, and I still love the first epilogue, but the UK epilogue was a lot more my speed. I also don't feel, and it's like the US cover is on my bookshelf right now. I can look at it, but it's under a stack of books, and I don't feel like fighting. I didn't feel like fighting for it, so I grabbed my UK cover. Oh, anyways, I just love this book. I think about Augustus Everett all the time, just like I think about Justin all the time. I think about Justin all the time. I think about Augustus all the time. I think about January Andrews all the time, and when I go through something like how she goes through in this book, I think of how she responded, and I'm like, wow, I would have responded the exact same way, and I am responding the exact same way. Emily Henry, you did it with this one. You got me real good, real fast, and now I own all of your books, except for Funny Story. But we're working on that. But yes, everyone needs to read it at least once in their lives, and I never forget about it, and it just lives rent-free in my brain all the time. Okay, that's it for my first video. Thank you for visiting me in my corner of the world. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.